If you think about the conditions you're most likely to have to use your concealed weapon, there's some attributes that are worth considering. One of them is that the situation is going to take you by surprise, and that you're going to go from 0 to 60 in a split second. And then you think about what it takes to actually make an accurate engagement. You're going to have to remember that you're holding your weapon. Hopefully it's on red direct with a round in the chamber. You're going to have to defeat whatever clothing is between you and that weapon. You're going to have to secure the weapon, get it out, build a grip, make a decision to fire or not to fire. Make sure that you understand what's between you and your target, beyond that target, and where your backstop is. Get a good sight picture and then fire. When you fire, you're going to fire until that threat is dead. That means you're going to be firing multiple times. You're not just going to fire a single round or a controlled pair. You're going to engage the target until the target is no longer a threat, and then you're going to assess the environment. You're likely going to have to perform a tactical reload after that. I think the best drill to simulate that engagement is the build drill. And the build drill is simply where you draw your weapon, build a grip, engage a target. Typically it's done at 7 yards. You hit it with 6 rounds, and today we're going to be doing that from the concealed, and we're going to be performing a tactical reload afterwards to simulate what I think is most likely the most likely concealed engagement that you would ever have to face. Some things to consider. Here, just looking at my equipment, I'm using a Glock 19 Gen 4 with a Zafiri Precision slide, mostly for cool points and because I like the ported slide. I have a TLR-1S Streamlight on it so I can shoot at night because I don't get to pick what time of day I'm going to end up needing to use this weapon. I've got the Trigicon RMR on top because the red dot sight, something that I've just grown to become accustomed to and really enjoyed using over the last couple of months. Other than that, completely stock. I guess I do have a mag well on it to increase my reload speed. Like with all things, we measure whenever we train, so we're going to be measuring accuracy and time. So I've got the packed shot timer. I'm going to be drawing from a T-Rex Arms sidecar. I really like this holster. And I've made I've made one modification of mine. I've kind of adjusted the various locations where you can adjust the tightness of the screws and the bolts and stuff to just make sure I get the right kind of retention that I like. But it's got the belt clips are really easy to use. They sink right into where you kind of feel real comfortable. But the one change I've made is this little device here, which they call the Raptor clip, ships on the back end. I've moved it to the front end of the holster, so it's actually closer up to my belt. It's a little bit less comfortable, but it pushes that weapon really, into my body more. So it's decreasing the amount of print that I'm getting, which to me is worthwhile. And it's just, I've been able to do it. And I'm a thinner, skinnier dude, so hasn't been too much of an issue. Now, the course of fire today, we already said we're doing a build drill. Like with any sort of training, the most valuable repetition you get any day is the cold bore, the first cold iteration, the cold start. So we're going to fire a build drill for time. From a cold start. Then we'll go through our course of fire, which is going to be cadence shooting from the draw of iterations of 1 round, followed by 2 rounds, followed by 3 rounds, followed by 4 rounds. And we'll work back up to that build drill of 6, then we'll shoot a build drill again and just measure improvement in that way. So that's like a very simple course of fire. When we're done with that, I might work some transition stuff, put on my gun belt and do some more fun shooting. But for the practical portion of today's fundamental training, it'll be a build drill followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds from the draw, back up to another build drill. We'll measure the first one, measure the last one, and see the difference there. The goal here is to improve the quality of your cold start repetition each time you come to the range. Ask any long range shooter, your cold bore shot from a bolt gun is going to be the most valuable shot that you get all day long. If you're doing force on force training, that first iteration is going to be the most valuable one. If you're doing live fire training, your blank iterations or your UTM iterations are going to be your most valuable iterations because it's the first time that you're seeing the objective, the first time that you're being challenged to complete the task. So let's get started. Cold start, build drill from the 7 on the clock. That was 3, 3, 5. I've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the A zone. Pulled 1. Okay. Now we'll hit a 1, and then a 2, then a 3, then a 4, then a 5, and then a 6. 162. 289. 229. .230. Built-in reload, didn't know it was coming. 276. I'm going to paste this up and we'll hit another bill to just measure quick improvement from that one. So just after that one cold start, running through that one set of drills, I dropped it down to a 286. One flyer, got outside the A zone, everything else is on point, and that cadence felt really, really good. The moral of the story here is if you carry a weapon to protect yourself or others, you have an obligation to ensure that you are proficient on that weapon. Doesn't mean we're all going to turn into world-class shooters overnight. I certainly haven't, and I don't know that I will anytime soon. But it does mean that we need to continually seek to improve the way that we perform with our weapons, that we practice the decision-making cycle that would lead us to a situation where we might be forced to use it, and that we're also prepared to deal with the aftermath of such an incident, like treating the wounded and getting out of the situation, reporting accurately, and all of those other secondary tasks that are so frequently overlooked. The easiest way to show your support for the channel if you enjoyed the video that you watched today is simply subscribing to it and sharing this video with a friend. You can also visit the website at controlledpairs.gg where you can buy merch, you can subscribe to get on our mailing list, you can check out the blog, and you can check out my gaming content. Stay safe, stay alert, and I'll see you guys in the next one.